Welcome to the March Madness Minute number 22. Today, Ryan's going to show us the second step in the electronic reflection journals, and that will be creating a Google form.
So our next step is to create an exit ticket using Google Forms. In this folder, you'll see I don't have a bunch of files. That's because just by creating one form, I can continue to update my exit tickets each day by simply making changes to the questions I already have. So we're going to go off to the side and click New. And we're going to look for the Google Forms icon. And we're going to generate an exit ticket. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a title. And then we're going to take care of one of the most important pieces to this entire form first. Students are going to need a way to send this exit ticket to their reflection journal. And we're going to do that with the very first question. So I'm going to ask them, what's your name? And we're going to create a drop-down list. So it'll have all the students' names in these options. Now, I don't have to go and write all of those names. We're going to have DocAppender auto-generate all of those names for us later on. Another thing that we're going to want to do is make sure that this is a required button. The whole process doesn't work unless they answer this question. So from here, you can add in whatever questions you want to your exit ticket. I'm going to show you some of the options in Google Forms by just walking you through the exit ticket that I usually make. So off to the side, you'll see this little plus sign. That's where you can add a new question. And so one of the first questions that I always ask is, what did you learn about in today's lesson? And because students are going to have a lot to tell me, I make sure that this is a paragraph response. And I also make this required. The next question that I'm going to ask them is, what is your level of understanding on today's lesson? And I like to use a scale for this. So I'm going to go down and change this to the linear scale option. Right here, you can see that it's 1 through 5 right now. My scale is only 1 through 4, so I can go and revise that down here. And if I want to provide additional context to what exactly a 1 or a 4 means, I can write that in here. And I want to make this required as well. Maybe I have a scale that I want students to reference when they answer this question. So I can go up to Add Image. And if I have a file of that scale, I can post that in here. So I'm going to go and access it through Google Drive. And I have it right here. So I can just select that. And we're going to see that it gets posted in. Now I would prefer this above the question I just made. So I can move that up by just dragging the box. And so now we have everything in the right order. The next question that I might want to make is a concept question. So I'm going to add another question in, and it's already multiple choice. I'm just going to keep it simple for the students. And to add more options in here, so it's not just a multiple choice of one answer, I click Add Option, and I can do that as many times as I want. And maybe I want one of those options to be Other. Maybe I'm not going to give them an acceptable answer, and they're going to have to provide me with a response of their own. So another question I like to have, and this is something that you've already seen, it's paragraph question type, but I ask them if they have any questions from today's lesson. With the basic structure of your exit ticket already made, now you can customize some of the options. If you want to add in video, there's an option for that down below. You can add sections to form deeper layers to your Google form. Since this is a simple exit ticket, we're not going to really deal with that. Up here, there are some customization options by clicking that wheel. I can make it so that I collect the CSD username of the student. That way, if they enter the wrong name by accident, I can tell who did that. I can require that they're only allowed to enter one response. I can also allow them to edit their response, or they can see what their responses were with a summary. A progress bar allows them to see how far they are through the exit ticket. A lot of these options aren't really necessary because our form's pretty simple. Going to the color palette up here, I can also click on that, and then you can change the visuals to your Google form. By clicking on this little image icon over here, you can give it a fancier background. I have one that I know I already want. So I'm going to go and click on the science background here. And so now we have a whole different theme, and it can match your class. And so now when I'm ready to have students respond, I can go up here and see the responses as they are completed. Over here, if I want to turn off the ability for students to respond. Maybe I have some students that fill out their exit tickets at the beginning of class. I can just toggle that off. And there really is no penalty for turning it on or off. If I want to collect data in the form of an Excel spreadsheet, I can push that button right there. And when I'm ready, I can go up here and push send. So I can have them automatically have to enter their student's username. And I like to distribute my Google Forms with a link that I post on my website or my Google Classroom, or I can have it in a PowerPoint slide. And so if I'm going to do that and I have to have them type it in, I might shorten that URL, and then I can just copy that and put it wherever I need. But that pretty much covers some of the basic options for Google Forms and how to create your own exit ticket. Now I'll show you how to put that exit ticket into the student reflection journal using Doc Appender.